Hey everybody, how are we on this Thursday afternoon? I tell you what, I'm feeling really tired. I'm sorry I'm feeling so tired, Stephen. It's just that we were awake nice and early for our health team from the Cystic Fibrosis Trust, and I don't know about you, with health departments, they have to have these early morning meetings. For us musicians, we don't do mornings, do we, Stephen?
We definitely do not do mornings. I just had breakfast. And a lot of times I eat dinner at like 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night. So, yeah.
That's certainly the truth. So, everybody, let's get back onto the show. Let's get here why we're here. We are here for great music, fun and laughter, and also raise some money for the great cause, which is the Cystic Fibrosis Trust. So, I'm going to cough a little because it is dry and hot, but me and Stephen have just been talking about this. So, in the UK, we are all saying, oh my God, it's so hot, moaning like we do in the UK. And then, Stephen, while I sort my coughing out, tell him how hot it is over there in New York.
So we're actually we're in Vegas and
In Vegas, so.
yeah, so we've been reaching around 117 recently. So it's a little bit hot out here for sure.
It is. How did the band perform on 117 degrees? You go out on the stage and think, I need to just take a bath full of water. And like when they're not looking, we just jump in, get cooled down, and go back on set. It must be so
Yeah,
hard.
we bring a little pool with us. We bring one of those little inflatables, and like in between songs,
I was
we
joking.
just jump in there and get wet and then just dry off real quick and come back on. We don't miss a beat.
Now I know how it's done. I was looking at
Yeah.
Youngblood's concert with Ozzy Osbourne, bless him, and I was thinking, do you know what? How many times does he go off stage and all of a sudden he's soaked with water and God knows what else? I'm thinking, that's it. He jumps in a pool behind. There you go. You've just given industry secret.
Yeah. Yeah. Many people don't know that.
Many people don't know. Well, you do now, okay? So, Stephen is from the Word 66, and your band is from which part of the US?
We are in Las Vegas, Nevada.
You are in Las Vegas, Nevada. Wow, what a city to be able to play this amazing rock music that we are going to be playing to our audience. You can't get better than that,
Absolutely.
surely. Cannot get better than
Absolutely.
that.
I call Vegas the Christian capital of the world.
Definitely. And every musician's dream to get to Vegas and come and play in Vegas.
Come and play in Sin City. Yes.
Come on there, definitely. Anyway, so let's catch up with the One Life world while we have not been away because you were here this morning and you were with me, weren't you? Hey. Anyway, what have we got going on? So I've had contact from Jesse McAllister, our songwriter, who, as you know him, are called Midnight Songwriter. He is gone away and he has developed a course for you lucky people to start songwriting in the music industry. So for all those who want to come into the independent market or you want to sing your own songs, our academy is now open. And from next week, we will be opening our songwriting classes for all those who want to brush up on your songwriting or produce something that you're not necessarily done before. Okay, so that's starting up next week, hopefully. PR management team is now open. We open up and we've opened up next week. That's all on the website. If you want to join us and dip into the music industry with one track and see how it goes with the radio stations, we will send it out and about to over 4,000 radio stations, 2,000 blogs, and loads of other podcasters just like me. Or if you want to be a bit more daring and you want to test yourself a bit much, you can come on for 3 months and we will manage you for 3 months and we will support you in the music industry. Or if you're really daring, go for our gold package, because if you go for our gold package, hey, 6 months' time, you may be in LA. We will support you as much as we can to try and make your dreams come true. Nothing's like set in stone in the music industry, but we will work for 6 months with you and we will work as hard as we can to demonstrate to everybody how amazing your songs are. Now, One Life is Sensational sounds the reason why we've got the word sensational, because we've already chosen the fact that you are sensational, and the ones that we've chosen that we have basically listened to with people who have over 60 years experience in the music industry, been there, done that, on the t-shirt, as they say. And we've also got the amazing Louis Humphreys over from LA as well, the producer of Boys to Men, who's listening into your songs and giving us advice as well. And also Yaya Diamond, daughter of Eva Diamond, is also having a listen to your track. So don't be scared of the gold, okay? Because that's where we want you to all be reaching. We want you to be in your local pubs and clubs and festivals. But if you really have a dream in the music industry, you just want to make it. You've got a dream that LA is your goal and you want to go over to America, why not? You know, really search deep. I'm sitting here 6 years later, and I said to myself 6 years ago, I'm going to make it in the music industry. I'm going to make sure I get my awards. I'm going to make sure I sing on the very famous like stages like the O2. And I've done all these things now. And, you know, my awards are coming. And I'm now sitting in meetings where I'm working on world tours, which are millions and millions of pounds. So it's there. You just have to dream and work hard, you know, and get there. So, yeah, that's open now. Please book and go onto the website. My Indie Tonight over in France. Thank you so much, Muriel. I did have a listen this evening. Absolutely fantastic. Muriel is our PR management team over in Europe. She is separate from us, but we send all our clients to French and Europe to go over to her and see if they could be supported by herself. One Life Radio this week was an absolute cracking show as well. Thank you for DJ Kelly Parcel over at South Devon Radio. She is collecting all of our songs globally. Okay, so from tonight's songs, they will be sent over. We're going to blast our ears off, and we'll wake up Torbay in Devon. Stephen's probably shaking his head thinking, where's Torbay and what's Torbay? And I'll tell him a bit about us very soon. The last piece of news from you was I wanted everybody to go and watch that amazing show. I'm on a bit of feedback here. Stephen, can I just ask you to just turn your speaker off a minute?
My speaker off?
Sorry, your microphone, sorry.
Is it? All right, man.
That's right. Sit closer to me. Okay. We're quite far along the water. You know, you won't catch anything from the UK. So I want everybody to watch this morning an absolutely emotional roller coaster from the Cystic Fibrosis Trust, from telling us about research on how cystic fibrosis patients are living longer because of patient research, and also the scientists who are making new drugs and recovery for cystic fibrosis, and the stories of the fact that those patients are now living a life where they can at least have children, and they can live a life with medication where they can see out, which we still know is a terminal illness. But at the end of the day, they're living longer and having fruitful lives. And again, please watch it, because there is a real life scenario brought by my co-management team, Paul, about his family member with cystic fibrosis. So it's one to watch. And do you know how it finished? That is the reason I want you to watch it, because it was finished off by one of our singers from Sensational Sounds dedicating a song to the cystic fibrosis team and inviting musicians to support him in making a single for the Cystic Fibrosis Trust. Now, I tell you what, that is an ending of the month on the 24th. I've got 3 more shows I wanted to hear. We have raised over £200 for this cystic fibrosis team. And now we're going to be producing a choir of singers who are going to sing one of our Sensational Sounds songs, which has been created by a young 18, 19-year-old. And I think that's absolutely fantastic. So, Paul, and also the team behind that, I look forward to hearing that. And it's going to be an absolute cracker. So great episode this morning. Well done, everybody. Anyway, let's get over to Stephen and let's find all about the word 66. And I'll tell you what, there's not 66 people behind him. There's only Stephen tonight. So he's got to do this all on his own. Where are the rest of the band? What are they up to this morning?
I have no idea. I've not had any contact with them this morning. So I assume that they are doing well and had their breakfast and are going to work, I guess.
Okay, tell us a bit about this band and how you all got together, and tell us about each individual person, and tell me, because they're not here, we can talk about whatever we want. Tell me about their characteristics, a little bit about them that the audience probably don't know, but you do.
Oh, man. So the band is called The Word 66, and it is named after the fact that there are 66 books in the Bible. So we are a Christian hard rock band, technically. We do get a ton of radio play in the non-Christian world as well, which is what we call a crossover band. So we've been fortunate to get to chart on the Christian and non-Christian world. 60s, like I said, the 66 books in the Bible, and that's what inspired the name of the band. The Bible is technically the word, so there's 66 books in the Bible, so we call ourselves the Word 66. So that's pretty cool. So we formed this band, or I should say, I formed this band probably around 2018. A little ways before COVID, and I actually put an ad out on Craigslist. Do you know what that is at all?
No, tell us about that.
So here in the States, there's this thing called Craigslist, and they're in all the different states, and you can find things in there. You could sell stuff. You can find people to do stuff for you. It's just kind of like I don't know, like something you'd used to find like in a newspaper or something like that. So anyway, so it's online, Craigslist, and they have this area for musicians. So I put an ad out there, and this guy Dave responded, and we got along, and we started getting the band together. Eventually, we got this guy Brian Torres, who was vocalist and the bassist for the band for the first couple of records, and neither one of those guys are in the band anymore. So we've had some changes.
I see you've had some changes in your bio, but what changes, amazing changes that you've had? Go on, tell everybody the amazing changes. Because sometimes, when we change over people, we think, do you know what? It's really sad because we've lost our friends who we've been touring with and things like that. But sometimes a little birdie just comes along and gives us a bit of a surprise. So tell us about these amazing new musicians.
Yeah. So the Holy Spirit has been watching this band the whole time and has been with us. So giving us all our inspiration. So Brian had left the band. So we found this guy, Carlos Zima, who's now our new vocalist. He's in a couple of other bands as well that he does some stuff with. And he's a lot heavier of a vocalist than our prior vocalist, Brian. So he adds a little bit more metal-ish sound to us, which is really cool. We also have Danny Miranda, who's from Queen and Blue Oyster Cult, who has been playing bass on the last couple of records for us as well. He's not touring with us, but at least at the moment, anyway. But he's done the recordings for us, and he's an amazing player. And we have a Lance Crane.
Hang on, Steve. I'm going to rewind that, and I do this with my eyes because they sit there and they make it sound so natural, and so these things just happen. Let's go back to that bit that you just read out because I'll read it out off my bio that you sent me. Okay, so when you said about Danny, work with Queen and Blue Oyster Cult. So let's just take Queen. Okay, so he's worked with Queen, and he approaches you as a band. That must feel pretty special. You must think, someone has actually been watching, like you say, watching our band and just given this amazing bass player who has actually live performed with Queen. That must have, did you actually just say, is this a joke? And just put the phone down? Or did you say, oh, wow, how did it feel?
Well, to be honest with you, man, I mean, it's not like we contacted Danny. Danny didn't contact us. So Danny is also, I'm from New York, a place called Long Island, or as I say, Long Island. So we've run into each other here and there, and we've recorded in the same studio. So we knew each other. I wouldn't say we were buddies. So when I was recording the new record and the record previous to this one, it just so happens that my producer / engineer happens to be a really good friend of Danny's. So he had reached out to him and said, hey, man, here's some of the tracks that they're doing. Would you be interested in playing on them? And fortunately, he loved them. And he was like, yeah, man, let's do this. And so, we just let him do his thing, pretty much. I didn't say like, oh, man, I need you to do this or do that. Because guy's an amazing player. He's one of the best bassists probably in the world. So we just sent him the track and he recorded them and in New York and then sent the stems over to us to place in the track.
Brilliant. I love that. I tell you what, I've got a young man on here, Dimitri Neves, who is our ambassador, and he keeps popping up. It's twice he's popped up in one day. I think he's trying to do some PR work. Dimitri, hi, buddy. How are you doing? All over the way in Greece. How is it going this evening? are Mr. Number One in Greece at the moment, and also our ambassador. So thank you for joining the show. He's saying hi to Stephen. We have brought you a little message on the show, and we hope that you are well over in Greece. Tell us what the weather's like in the comments, please, Dimitri, because us two are absolutely boiling hot this evening. Okay, so you put in your bio. You put about being a veteran of the group. Is there much of a difference between you all in terms of age range?
No, we're all pretty much around the same age. You know, we're veterans. We're not youngsters, obviously. You know, we've been doing this for a really long time.
Brilliant. So for yourselves, you know, we've talked about the pool at the back of the stage. You know, what's been your highlights this year? Have you had anything special going on this year?
You know, the release of the new record and having Carlos as the new vocalist has probably been, you know, something that's really noteworthy. You know, he's really changed our sound with his vocals. He's got a great voice, man, and we're happy and blessed to have him in the band.
Fantastic. Dimitri's just put in the comments, it's absolutely hot in Greece. It's 43 Celsius. So yeah, pretty hot over in Greece. Okay, so yes, okay, in the UK we might as well have snow, okay, because yes, we're colder than everybody else. But we've got seagulls. I don't know if you've got seagulls.
What's that in Fahrenheit? Do you know?
I don't know. I'll tell you what, we're gonna break normality in here, okay? I'm just gonna go to my phone because I know it's live, but Stephen's so insistent on knowing what it is. So we say it's 24 in the UK.
I don't think we do Celsius here in America.
Okay, so that's degrees. God dear, he's got me the end of the night and I'm typing away. UK into Celsius, yeah? If anyone else gets this in the comments quicker, please do. Because Steve really is interested. Come on, give us an answer really quickly.
You learn something new every day.
A measly 71.6 Fahrenheit. Does that make sense?
71 degrees is hot, Dimitri.
It is hot. It is hot. See, we're quite high over here. So you're only 43 over in Greece. I don't know. It can't be 73.
My goodness. Like I said, we're
like that conversion rate's not right. I think they've upped that just to make the UK look better. I don't think it's right. I'll look at it and put it at the end of the program anyway. Let's go back to my notes. You've completely put me off. Anyway, we've talked about your new song. What I'd like to do now is introduce that new song to the world because it's coming out in August the 1st. Do you want to tell the listeners about this new song, how it was written, and what it's about?
It's called Tell Me, and it's you are debuting this song. You're the first one, I think, to ever play this song. So I appreciate that, AJ. World premiere. So this is, we recorded a 5-song EP that will be out shortly. We're probably going to add a 6th song on there as well. So it's called Tell Me, and basically it's about someone that's asking God, you know, what is it exactly that I need to do? You know, they're going through life and they're going through all their challenges and they don't really know what to do exactly. So they're saying, you know, with Christianity and all religion, they say you need to be still and to listen to God's word. So kind of like in a meditative kind of state. So basically this guy is saying, hey, you know, I'm listening. Tell me what it is I need to do.
Fantastic. I think we all knew that at this day and age, with everything going on around us, I think sometimes we don't stand still long enough to even think.
Yes,
I think actually if we take that on board and we take the name of the song, if we just took 2 seconds to think, it would be moving on a lot quicker and things wouldn't be happening the way they are. So tell me, everyone, and then we're going to get on to our amazing charity, Cystic Fibrosis. Okay, so here we go. There you go, everybody. A world exclusive over here in the UK. Tell me what you think about that track, because I absolutely love it. Absolutely fantastic track. And I know you are going to love it out there. Once it is out on August the 1st, please make sure you download it, okay, and you support this amazing track. And let's get those numbers up. I will be. Are you happy with it, Stephen? Does it sound as good as you thought it would?
Yeah, it sounds good. I was saying to you earlier, before we started taping the show, is that, from the CD that's coming out, I personally think it's the weakest track on the CD. But our manager, which is this guy, his name is Paul Crosby, PCM Management. Paul used to be at Saliva for like many, many, many years, and he thought it was the strongest track on the record. So we're putting it out there. See what happens.
It's in now. So have you been with PCM Management long? Has this been a long relationship, or has it just started?
It's new. We've been for about 3 months now, 3 or 4 months.
Fantastic. Tell us about what it's like when you suddenly decide, actually, I'm going to let someone manage us, look after us, and try and get us to new heights. That trust in that actual management team has to be like there, and it's a bit of a strange thing for people coming to us, but. Why did you choose that route? What was it for you that really thought, everybody is going to have to hear this band of ours because we are amazing?
Yeah, man, I appreciate that. So, there's just so far you can go on your own. I've been doing this myself for like the last 7 years, I'd say. This is our third EP that we're releasing now. So I've made a lot of contacts and a lot of friends along the way in all different areas, including, press and radio and podcasts, all that kind of stuff. But again, there's just so far you can go on your own. The key for me too, so we were signed, excuse me, with a label a few years back, and that didn't work out. And I'm not really going to get into it because I don't want to,
No, we won't go there. We know what happens.
Positive, right? So
we do.
So yeah. So that didn't work out. So the thing for me is, I had sent some music over to Paul, and he loved the tracks, and he got back to us and said, "Hey, man, I'd love to manage you guys." And like I said, there's only so far that you can go. So the thing I like about Paul is someone that's been there. Paul has hit the lottery in the music world. He's multi platinum selling, multi Grammy nominated. Because Saliva is a great band, man. So he was in that band for like 20 years, and I know that he's got all the different connections and he knows what to do. So when we had the opportunity to sign with him, we thought it would be a great idea.
It sounds absolutely wonderful idea. And I think you've hit it on the head. I think the collaboration and having the connections. And I think anybody looking into going into the management systems, PR management systems, please don't be scared because they have changed. I think you're going to find a lot more in the music industry where there are ex-singers who were where you were 30 odd years ago, or whatever the age group is now. I'm not giving my age away, everybody. Okay, have been where you are, who actually want to give back now in the music industry. We are at a point in our career for music that we can see the impact of COVID, of mental health, and also of everything that's been going on around the world. And I think I've been with the likes of the International Singer-Songwriters Association and part of the Jose's group, and all the other groups for quite some time, even the Grammys group for quite some time. And I've really seen a big shift in artists wanting to help each other, collaborate with each other. So if you do go into PR management in any stage, the bloke that you're with sounds absolutely amazing. Please don't be scared. At the end of the day, it's an investment, but a good investment, because they will be there to look after your career, there to support you, and there to help you. There's a lot of things going around at the moment in this world of music, but if you've got someone with the knowledge and someone in the know and there to give their full backing behind you, do you know what, as a musician, jump on board, because we want to, especially in the UK. We are in a very quiet place in the UK at the moment. We want to dig you all back up, and we want to get you out of your bedrooms, out of your studios, and to be playing in front of all the audience and the fans, because that's where we want you. We want to see, like I've seen in Torbay, and we'll talk a little bit about this, Stephen. Torbay is a lovely seaside town over here in the UK, in the southwest. And I am proud of our council, because last week we put on a concert, which was, I think they said 17,000 people went to, and it was Fatboy Slim. And we've got a new arena with all new A-listers coming over here. So the Music Arts and the Council and the Music Venue Trust are spending millions to try and bring music back to the UK and get people out of their studios, out of their bedrooms, and playing in the pubs and clubs. And I'll tell you what, I'm seeing a shift, and it's a real smiley shift. Over 2 years ago, when I'd done the work with the Music Venue Trust and also with other artists saying, are we ever going to see people coming back out onto the streets? It all looks so grey. Actually look around Torbay this summer with a smile on my face, because every single pub and club is literally got someone booked in every single day of the week, ready for the summer holidays when the tourists come in. So well done the local authority. Well done for all those PR managers getting those people booked in. And also for those musicians, for themselves, you know, getting out there and playing in front of your audiences. So brilliant, absolutely fantastic. Right, let's go on to the Cystic Fibrosis Trust. Stephen, is it something that you're aware of, cystic fibrosis?
Of course, absolutely.
Fantastic. Okay, so we will do what we've done this morning. These stories can be a bit close to the heart for people. They can be a bit tough during the videos. It comes with a little bit of a warning to say, do you know what? You're not on your own. You know, there's 4,500 of us here at One Life. One of us will pick up an email. One of us will pick up a text. You never know. We may pick up the phone, okay? You're not on your own as family members. You're not on your own if you suffer from cystic fibrosis. We want you to come along into our community. We want you to be one of us at the end of the day. You know, this isn't just about artists and musicians. This is about a family. You know, One Life with Sensational Sound is a family, and we treat everyone in the same way. So please look after yourselves. If you can't get hold of us, then get hold of a family member and contact the Cystic Fibrosis Trust, because as we learned this morning, their helplines and phone lines are 24/7, 7 days a week. So there's always someone on the phone ready to take your call and talk to you and see how you are, okay? But just don't leave it on your own. So we're going to find out a bit of a journey from one of the cystic fibrosis cases that was put on YouTube. I hope you enjoy it. It is this evening, 3 minutes, okay? So 3-minute breather for me and Stephen while you watch the film.
You know what it's like, children ask the funniest, most inappropriate questions. Can you remember what you said to that man who was really fat?
Mummy, is that man having a baby?
Beth was born 24th of August 2000. Okay. I got the date wrong, sorry. She failed to put on any weight. We had lots of trips to the doctors, lots of times in the hospital. Not that she'd remember any of it, but they were running loads of tests, and we were spending a lot of the time thinking, was everything going to be okay?
Sorry about that, everyone. We have got a bit of an internet outage. I don't know over in where you are in Los Angeles. We've been hit by something this afternoon, and all of our major networks are down at the moment. So we're having really bad problems with EE at the moment. We do apologise about that, everybody.
She failed to put on any weight. We had lots of trips to the doctors, lots of times in the hospital. Not that she'd remember any of it, but they were running loads of tests, and we were spending a lot of the time thinking, was everything going to be okay? We're just a normal family that don't have any hint of CF in our history. So there was a lot of times that we thought, well, why us? It's not really fair. Beth was asleep on the bed, and I realised I was going to need to go somewhere to have a really good cry. So I jumped in the shower where I could be on my own and sobbed for a while. But it was in the shower that actually we turned it around from, well, why us to why not us?
I started to realise I was doing all of these medicines and nebulizers when other people weren't. I knew I had to take tablets, but I didn't really understand what they were for. And then as gradually I got older, I was asking the questions, why do I have to take 30 of these a day? My friend Becca was a bit sick, but she was like okay to go and see. But Mum didn't want me catching it because she thought it could be worse for me than it was for her. And I said, why can't I go and see Becca?
Do you remember that girl at middle school? And she'd had somebody in her family that had cystic fibrosis. What did she say?
Are you going to die when you're young? I've still got the questions like, will I get married? Will I have children? How long is my life expectancy now? How long will it be till the next breakthrough in the science? Because look how far we've come in about 10 years, all the developments that have happened, how much could change in the next 10 years that I live.
Okay, a bit of a heart-wrenching one this afternoon, and we send our love to Sophie and the family. I think, do you know what? She's a brave girl. She really is. And I think the fact that her message to everybody was that she hopes that the scientists can make people live a bit longer. Are you okay, Stephen?
Yeah, I'm just it's that's powerful, man, and that's so heartbreaking.
It is very, very, very powerful, very, very heartbreaking. But I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you artists who have been on the show this month. Anybody who has booked this month knew it was going to be a hard month, and some artists would have said that's not for me. But those who have stayed with me for this month, all 10 of you, it's been an absolutely amazing month, and you've really, really helped spread the word from the Cystic Fibrosis Trust. And, the Cystic Fibrosis Trust themselves, when they come on this morning, was very grateful for all the support that you've given. And we do know that this is a very complex, and I do hope that one day we can find a magic wand and a miracle medication for cystic fibrosis, and hopefully we can make those years keep expanding and they get to the years that we all dream of getting to. So we never know where the world comes, and we never know what's going on. We've lost two great people this week, Ozzy Osbourne and today Hulk Hogan. So, that was like a bit of a surprise today with the Hulk. I was like, wow, where did that come from? A week that is Ozzy Osbourne, and then all of a sudden along comes Hulk Hogan. He's always the star of the show, and bless him. So to Hulk and his family.
Yeah, I saw that, and I've always been a huge Ozzy fan. Black Sabbath is probably one of, if not my favorite bands of all time.
It's got to be. It was one of mine, and I think, you know what? I think with young blood coming through, obviously we've got someone who will be as big as Ozzy, but I don't think anybody's ever going to overtake Ozzy. He's a legend at the end of the day. No. One we will all never forget, and never, ever forget. Anyway, coming back to sort of the support that you give, in terms of Cystic Fibrosis Trust, that's our charity of the month, but there are certain things that our guests do like to be part of as well. And for yours, I was quite surprised. Vintage Pet Rescue. I didn't seem to think that I was going to get a hard rock band, and then they're looking after their little pets. Tell me a bit about how that come along.
I am a major doggy freak. I love animals so much. I don't know if you saw, but a couple of times my dogs came over here. You might have seen like a little snout pop in the picture or something like that. I've got 3 dogs currently at the moment. I have to say that pets are my ministry. I hate to say, there are people that, have certain causes like cystic fibrosis and multiple sclerosis, all those kind of things. For me, like my biggest thing is saving pets, man. I mean, I just love animals so much. And in fact, I don't eat them as well. I'm actually a pescatarian, which is,
Okay.
if you don't know what that means I just eat fish,
Yep.
fish, I eat cheese, I eat eggs, kind of thing. But I won't eat beef, I won't eat chicken, any of that kind of stuff. So because of my love for animals. And one of my dreams is to someday like open up a shelter or two and save as many dogs and cats
Okay.
as I can. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And
Excellent. I love
there's
that.
this place. There's a place called Vintage Pet Rescue, and I believe they're in Rhode Island. And these people are so amazing, man, because what they do is they take in all of the old senior pets, maybe that people don't want anymore, or maybe their owners passed or something, and they take in the dogs that are missing legs and have all kinds of major issues. And again, it's so easy for people to say like, oh, it's just a pet, get rid of it, kind of thing, But these people take in all of these pets and they give them a beautiful life for whatever time they have left. And I think they're angels, they're saints, as far as I'm concerned.
I love that. Do you know what? Pets in the UK for a dog is a man's best friend. Do those animals come on tour? Do they ever sort of get in the van or get in the car or wherever you go? Do they manage to make it to the stage?
They don't, but I tell you something, when I'm gone, I miss them tremendously. And we only will do like a really short tour, maybe for like a week or two or something like that here and there. Because I can't be away from my pets so long, man. It's like I've got to get back to my dogs. And you talk about best friend. I mean, I've got a shepherd, is my boy. His name is Coda. And Coda's my best friend in the world, man. I mean, I love that dog so much. It's the greatest dog. And when I adopted the dog, it was, he was with a brother, and like they found him like under some kind of like trailer, and they were so underweight. They were all skin and bones and stuff, and had some psychological issues. But being with this dog for many years and showing this dog a lot of love, it's like the greatest pet in the world, man.
Love it. I love it. Do you know what? I love pets. I've always got this image when they're sitting at home waiting for us to come home from a gig that they've actually switched on the TV or the radio and they're listening to us and they can hear us and they're like proud of us when we come home through the door.
Right.
There's a dog and cat program, dog and cat film, isn't it? I can't remember what it's called. It's quite an old one now. But it sort of says how a dog's world is when we all walk out the door. So I'm sure they're all sitting there and they've all got the radio on, or they're all listening to your great gigs, and they're all excited to see you when you come home. So absolutely brilliant that you support that. And please, if you've got any details, please drop them on the One Life website or on the One Life Facebook page. And for those who want to check this pet support place out, animal shelter out, then we will find those details for you as well, or Steve will make sure they put some in the comments. Okay, so fantastic. So a miracle man with the animals, okay? And I'm sure they'll be saying that about you if they were here today. To your song, 37 Miracles. Tell us about it, and we'll play it next.
So 37 miracles is actually the number of miracles that Jesus performed while he was here on earth. I remember being at a sermon one time, and the pastor mentioned that Jesus performed 37 miracles. And I just thought that was so cool, man. I mean, I like pulled out my phone and I was like 37 miracles, for another time. It probably took a couple of years before I actually got to it, but it was something I wanted to write. And in the song, I actually list about 15 of his miracles of the 37. And that's the title track of the new record. And that was our first release as well.
Fantastic. I love that. For good songwriters, there's a quick tip from me to you, okay? And Stephen will probably agree on this, okay? Words and sort of things do pop up in your memory. It could be from when you're reading a good book to a good sentence on the TV, okay? Never take something for granted, but if that something just jumps in your head there and then, there's a reason for it. Get it down on a piece of paper, write about it, and at the end of it, you may end up just doing what you've done, Stephen. 37 miracles. It makes you think a bit more about what was that in the Bible, what were his miracles, and there you go. It's all written a song for you. Okay, so great songwriting tip. Okay, just remember, always carry that pen and paper, because it may be one word or one sentence or one word of a book or a paragraph or a newspaper, and it will jump out on you and go, there you go. There's your next single. Okay, so for you, Stephen, 37 miracles. Let's give it a go.
Here's the one who came to save us, Emmanuel. Hallelujah. He's the one, the Son of the Father, Emmanuel. Hallelujah. Water to wine, cold and stormy sea. Spirits begun curing leprosy. Crippled they walk, heal the weak ahead. Blind men see again. Here's the one who came to save us, Emmanuel. Hallelujah. Free the crowd, heal the Gentiles' daughter, bring death to life, watch him all go water. Pay temple tax to the boy unclean, curse the fruit tree, bring Lazarus back again. 37 miracles, thanks proclaim. 37 miracles, worship his name. 37 miracles, making it clear. Sinless God that the world prevails.
Absolutely love it. And do you know what? I'm downloading like all of yours this week. I'm just going to sit there listening to them while I'm like doing my work at home. Absolutely
Thanks, man.
great
I
track.
appreciate
And I'll
that.
tell you what, I'm not the only one. They're jumping in with the comments here. The Major Resolve has jumped in with saying 37 miracles, please, please, please. So this must be quite popular over there. It must be a track which they're actually loving over in the US.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean it's honestly. Oh, you see this is Coco, by the way, everybody here, right here.
Hey, KK, how you doing, young man? Are you okay over there? Are you looking after Dad?
Actually, that's my favorite song on the new CD. That one, and there's another one called "Heed the Words," which will be out shortly. That was another a favorite of mine as well. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought it was going to do a little bit better than it did. I mean, it's still, it was released in May, on May 3rd, I think it was, 2nd or 3rd. And yeah, hopefully it'll gain a little bit more momentum with some of the other tracks.
Do you know one of the biggest things? I need to get this off my head, and I don't know how to put this across, but I'm going to, okay? Because I've had a lot of sort of gospel, religion mixes of songs and guests on my show And it reminded me when I was listening to your music this afternoon, it reminded me of when I was little and my mum used to say to me about going to church. And I always used to say, do you know what, Mum, I'm not going to church because, do you know what, the people who sing in there, I'm not going to like the music. You know, and she's like, until you get there, you can tell me whether you like it or not, but it's not what you think. And I was like, do you know what? I know I go and I sing in the choir at school, and I know that I've got to sit down, be good, and it's not fun at all, and I'm not coming. But I remember that moment going into church and seeing the band that we first saw, and I was thinking, why is there a band in it? Why are we not just singing choir songs with a piano? And this band, and it was a rock band, I remember really, really well. And it was like, hang on a minute, what's going on in my church? You know, why is there a band? Why have I been so scared about coming into the church and listening to this music? And, you know, I want to thank my mum. You know, my mum recently lost her husband. But I want to thank you, Mum, for, you know, just introducing me to different views of different things which are going on in the world. You know, I'm coming up for my 49th birthday, and actually, Mum, you taking me to church was the reason why I ended up being a musician. You know, I stayed and I sung in church. I was lucky enough to sing in a cathedral, you know, and I was lucky enough to continue with music in my background. But, you know, just walking through and hearing music, you know, like we have here tonight from the Word 66, you will probably not walk into church and think that you're going to get this type of music coming from the church. But if you go in, you are going to be rocking into the church and you're going to be rocking out again. You know, Stephen, does that make you feel encouraged that there are people who are very scared about coming into churches, but when they hear bands like yours, it's almost going to be a concert outside the church door?
Yeah, there's a lot of misconceptions when it comes to religious bands. You know, I think that, like you were saying, I think that a lot of people think when you mention like a Christian band, they're thinking of gospel, you know, which is totally different. Gospel's amazing too, man, but it's not rock and roll. So if you're a rocker, you know, like I go to this church, and the church I go to is what you call a non-denominational church. Excuse me, I call that the cool church, because that's where you come as you are. You know, if you want to come in flip-flops and a t-shirt and shorts and a baseball cap, man, you're 1,000% welcome like everybody else. And then there's a really good rock band that plays Christian contemporary music. You know, they'll play several songs, and it's great, man, because it's kind of like a little concert, worshiping God and Christ, man. It's worship music, you know, rock and roll wise. And it's great, man. And there's a lot of people too that if you tell them that there are Christian metal bands like ourselves, you know, they have no idea what that means, and have no idea there's such a thing, you know, because I remember too
I
when
think
I
it's
was
amazing. I love it.
yeah, I love it too, man. I mean, because that this has been a calling for me. I believe God reached out to me. We all have a purpose in life, and I believe my purpose in life is to be what I like to call a rock and roll preacher. So
Fantastic. I love that.
obviously, I don't do sermons on Sundays, but I give a strong message with all of my music. So in a way, and music is so powerful. So in a way, I'm kind of preaching the word through my music. And I've spoken to people too. I've done interviews too with people, and they're like, "Oh yeah, man!" It's like, you know, they everybody knows who Striper is, right? So that's the band that everybody knows. They go, "Oh yeah, man, I used to listen to Striper," and they don't realize that there are a million other really great, talented Christian rock bands out there, including the hardcore ones. You know, you've got, you know, if you're like someone who listens to thrash metal and death metal and all that kind of stuff, they have that in the Christian world as well. So it's the same kind of music, but just always with a positive message. And a lot of people
Love it.
don't know that that's out there. And I believe they're doing themselves an injustice musically by not getting to know some of these bands.
Definitely. Do you know, I love the diversity of music industry, and I love the fact that we're all here for the same purpose, and that's music and spreading our message, whatever our message is, through music. And I think it's absolutely fantastic. And this is why I love my job. You know, at the end of the day, 180 interviews in 1.5 years. I've met so many amazing people around the world, and it's been an absolutely amazing journey, and I love each and every day. But, you know, when you sent me over your bio before we go into our quiz of the evening, okay, you were sort of, you know, the band, you're saying about the band being compared, you know, the likes of Black Sabbath, Shinedown and Creed have influenced your band. If one of those amazing bands come up to you and say, can you be our support band? Which one would it be? Where would you go?
You know, Sabbath has always been like one of, if not my favorite bands, man. And I believe in my music, there's some Sabbath-y stuff in there too, you know, some riffs and things. So Tony Iommi is a legend, you know, as a guitarist. And I mean, he's the guy that even invented the down tuning of guitars. And I also call him the father of the power chord, man, because if he wasn't around, I mean, I don't know what would hard rock and metal be like, you know? So I would love to do a show with Tony and Sabbath. Yeah, that'd be great.
That'd be absolutely great. Absolutely brilliant. You never know. One day, one of those big bands may be calling you up on stage. Have you got a dream as a band? Have you discussed your dream? What are you going to go for?
You know, we've or myself, I should say. I mean, again, this is a purpose for me. You know, this is what I'm supposed to do. God wants me to spread the word through the music. So if we attain, you know, a lot of success, that's fantastic, man. And that's great. That's just like icing on the cake. But really, the mission is to spread the word. And hopefully, we're reaching some people that maybe are having some difficulties in life, some troubles, and they're going through some really hard times. Because I've gotten emails from people too stating that, you know, you've really helped me through some hard times. I've listened to your music and it's spoken to me, and it's helped me get through some of the things that we're going through. And that's really what this band is about.
You know, I absolutely love that. I really do love the fact that, you know, the type of music that you play. I'm going to ask a big, huge ask at the end of the night. It's been a long, long week. Can everybody, when they are listening to music, listen to the words? At least get through to the end. Don't skip after 10 seconds, okay? Listen to the words, because actually, Stephen's quite right. They will help you. They will be there to support you. And that message just may bring you along your really hard week. And, you know, that's just my personal plea tonight. I've been doing that while I've been watching people just scrolling on their phones on the way home. Please just listen to that record from start to finish, because the fact that, Stephen, that's helping a lot of people and you're getting those emails, absolutely fantastic. Anyway, everybody, it is quiz time. Vanessa's just walked through the door. My partner, she must know every single time when we're on live what time the quiz. I think she secretly watches the show on the bus as she walks in just in time for the quiz. So you've got a bit of help, Stephen.
Okay.
Okay, so we are going to go to our quiz wheel and find out what it is tonight. What it's going to be. She did science with us last night, Vanessa. She was really quite good at it. So if we do happen to get science again, Vanessa will be absolutely in a good place to help you out, okay?
Yes, thank you, Vanessa.
So here we go, everybody. Let's find out what it is tonight, okay? Fingers crossed, everyone.
Come on, baby.
I'm sorry. No way I got a side. No, I'll tell you what, we're going to spin it one more time.
Hey, best 2 out of 3. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, 80s music. Ooh, Vanessa likes that. She's got a smile on her face.
All right, I can do this
we're
one.
going for a bit of 80s music out there in the audience. Okay, so you remember, you know what the deal is out there. The deal is you've got to try and beat Stephen and Vanessa's score tonight. Okay, and if you don't beat it, you've got to give double whatever they put into the kitty. Okay, so for us, it's $2 for every question you get wrong. But what we say is, please give as little or as much as you could to the Cystic Fibrosis Trust. And if you can't give, please just share the name as much as you can, because having that support is just as important as having that pound in the pot. Okay. So I'm going to remove this. I'm going to get over to the quiz and bring that onto the show as well. And while I'm doing that, I'd like Stephen. Go on.
I was gonna say, I think the '80s was probably the greatest era for music because you
It
had
was. We still listen to it here in the UK.
you had everything. You had your heavy metal, you had your new wave, you had the beginnings of your hip hop stuff. I mean, it's like everything was
You'll never
there.
beat the 80s. Never ever beat the 80s. I don't know what it is. It's still going really strong in every single country.
Yep.
Right. Let's see what quizzes we can come up with on YouTube tonight. Okay. So we do you like 80s rock? Anything 80s. Ask is confident tonight, Stevens is very confident tonight. Okay. Okay. 80s rock.
We can do this,
Quiz.
Vanessa. We got this.
Stevens says we got this, okay? Right, guess the rock song. Look, there's one with Ozzy there, look. You wanted rock. Oh, that one, look. With Ozzy Osbourne, come on. Guess the rock song, okay? So you're going to have to hear it, Vanessa. You're going to have to come closer to me, I'm afraid. I have put aftershave on today. Don't worry. There you go. Okay, right. Can everybody see the screen? Is it on there yet? Yes, it is. That's what I like to see. A nice advert from YouTube. And yes, YouTube, I know I don't pay a subscription and I know, copyright and all that, but come on, we're doing it for a charity, okay? So don't put that little yellow triangle. Sometimes you're very nice to me and you don't put one on there because you know we're doing a good thing. We're doing a good deed, okay? So stop the yellow triangles for us and help us out, okay? We're supporting the Cystic Fibrosis Trust. And all those who do a quiz for us at the end of the night, thank you for doing the quizzes because that saves me having to look at a book and doing them myself. So I do appreciate everything you're doing for the quizzes and for also the podcast crew, okay? We'll support each other, all right? Fantastic. Okay, let's go into it then. So we've got to guess the music after this.
It's a holiday home. Book with fuss-free flexible cancellation on booking.com. Booking.yeah.
I was like, I don't know that song.
Little business boy. I think they can smell your fear. Go on, contribute.
We'll eventually get there. Thanks, YouTube. Right, can I just ask Stephen, did you hear that little bit of music?
Yes.
Fantastic. Stephen's heard it. Vanessa, did you hear it?
I'm going to guess.
Come and
I
sit
don't know if
next
it was
to me,
80s.
Vanessa, okay? Stephen needs your help, okay? Stephen needs your help. Come and sit next to me. Okay?
I think from...
Right.
I can guess.
Right, okay, here we go. Let's see what the first one is tonight.
Guns N' Roses.
Okay,
we know
so
that
what
one.
is that first one? Stephen's saying it is Guns N' Roses.
Yes.
Do you know the song?
Welcome to the jungle.
Oh, between the two of you, you have got the artist and also the song Guns N' Roses, Welcome to the Jungle. Of course it is. And there goes our internet. Once again, everybody, give it a refresh. Hope it doesn't put us on the average.
Empower your
again.
students to be
Oh,
more
it has.
authentic, impactful writers with Grammarly's
come on.
comprehensive AI writing assistance.
Sort yourselves out. There you go. Come on, we know it's right. We've already got this one. Come on. There you go. Welcome to the jungle. Well done, Vanessa. Well done, Stephen.
Girls,
Ooh,
girls,
it's a bit of a
girls
harder
from
one this
Motley
time.
Crue.
Girls, girls, girls. The Motley Crue, says Stephen. Vanessa, are you shaking your head? It is. Girls, girls, girls.
Oh, that's White Snake. What's the name of that one?
He's got White Snake. He hasn't got the Traco. Sweet challenge. We put him out of his misery, everyone. He's got 10 seconds to get it fully right.
Oh,
is this love?
yeah. Got it. Yeah. I just got it too. Crazy Train from Ozzy.
Oh, of course, the one and only Ozzy Osbourne.
This is Crazy Train.
Crazy Train, Ozzy Osbourne. God bless you, Ozzy.
Cinderella.
Cinderella. Cinderella. It's gone.
The bitch is hungry. She needs to turn. So give her.
Scorpions. Hurricane. Rock You Like a Hurricane.
Scorpions up there. Okay, it is. This is rocking us tonight.
I've gone through changes. I've gone through pain.
Ooh. Hopefully Vanessa heard that one.
I
No.
heard it a little bit, but no, I won't get that one.
Rock the Night, Europe.
Night from Europe, yeah.
I know this one.
Def Leppard.
It is. What's the
Pour some
song?
sugar.
What's the song?
Pour some
It's a
sugar
Pour
on
Some
me.
Sugar on me.
Pay my rent. I can barely make it through the week.
Poison ain't nothing but a good thing.
Poison ain't nothing but a good thing. I definitely think you've got that one right as well.
Don't need nothing but a good time.
A good time. Okay, yeah.
Pleasure is the blame. Ain't no difference what you say.
Motorhead.
Motorhead.
Ace of Spades.
Ace of Spades, it is. Stephen, I tell you what, for the end of the week, young man, you are a true rock legend. And I don't even think you got one wrong, did you?
It's easy.
It was easy. It was too easy for him. There you go. That's what I like to see. A bit of confidence on the show. Okay, so
Glad it wasn't
Cystic
science.
Fibrosis Trust. Don't worry, Cystic Fibrosis Trust. I'm sure we'll be emptying these pockets as he leaves the studio, but he will be going out with his band members and go, do you know what? I was a rocker on that show tonight. I got 10 out of 10, and everyone will be like, yeah, we just know. Anyway, so Stephen, is there anyone out there that you want to say a special thank you to and say regarding your music and those that support you?
You know, I want to thank you for having me on, man. I really appreciate it. This was pretty awesome. Thank you so much. As far as people out there, yeah, you know, there's been a lot of people that have done some great things for us. You know, of course, Paul, our new manager, Danny, Miranda for doing the bass work on our records for the last couple times. My really good friend Jen, who has really been such a major inspiration for me and has helped me with so many things. And yeah, of course, Lance, my drummer, and Carlos, our new vocalist, and Brian, who did the vocals prior. And we just want to thank everybody. And most of all, we want to thank God and Jesus.
Fantastic. Thank you very much for those lovely, lovely messages. I just want to thank my audience tonight. You have been absolutely fantastic. There's been lots of people joining us. Dimitri from Greece. And we've also got Michael Botte has just joined us over for the US and the Major Resolve as well. Thank you for all joining us on this amazing show. It has been an amazing day, a double header with the Cystic Fibrosis Trust, and it's been an absolute great week. And I want to thank you all for joining me this week. We will be live back with you next week as we wrap up our Cystic Fibrosis month, and then we go over to the world of antimicrobial resistance and also Uganda with the Hope Foundation with the orphanage over there in Uganda. So a double charity celebration next month and a lot of artists coming on board. So I'll tell you what, because of that, I need a bit of a rest. I'm going to go and get my rest over the weekend, and we will see you live on the show on Monday at 7 p.m. Do not be late. Okay, take good care. Have a good time. Bye-bye.
Thanks. God bless everyone.